Hello and welcome to this video about context in A-level media studies. Context is basically the circumstances in which something takes place. So look at this picture of a child drawing a picture. Obviously, they've got free choice about what they might want to draw, but they might be influenced by their environment or their home life. So a child drawing a picture in modern Britain in the 2020s, they might draw an iPhone or an aeroplane. Whereas those things wouldn't be in a child's drawing that we found from Victorian Britain in the 1850s. There would be different things there. And the same might be true if we had a child draw a picture in modern India. They might draw different things that were more relevant to their culture. So the context, the circumstances in which something is made has a big impact on the actual content of it. So think about this with producers, okay? So thinking about the circumstances in which a media text is produced, media context. So a producer like Disney or Epic Games making a film like Frozen or a game like Fortnite, they're going to be influenced by their context, okay? There's going to be things happening in the world that are going to influence the choices that they make. And at A-level, we need to understand 5 different contexts. If you looked at this at GCSE, this is one more context than at GCSE. And these contexts are historical context, social context, cultural context, political context, and economic context. So what do each of these mean? Well, historical context is historical events. So any historical event that might have influenced the producer, something that could have changed the way they thought about the world. 9/11, for example, that would be a big historical event that maybe changed the way people think about the products that they make. Social context is society's views on different things. So it might be their view on gender, it might be their view on celebrity, but it's going to influence the product through the producer. Cultural context is trends, what's cool, what's in at the time, but also technology, which is sort of cool in its own way as well. So new technology comes out, that's going to be trendy. That's cultural context. Political context is about the political views that somebody might have, and that might influence the product that they make. And then economic context is all about money. So where does the money come from? Where is the money going? How much money is there? That's going to have an impact on the product as well. But if we zoom out even further and we look at what happens to the product after it's made, it goes out to audiences. And those audiences are also going to be influenced by the same contexts. Okay. Now, don't forget that they can be influenced by context too. And that means that interpretation can be impacted. So in the same way as as the producer can be impacted by all of those things, the audience might see things differently. So if we take this, for example, this is a front cover of The Sun that says, "Save Brexit, save Britain. If Boris wins today, a bright future begins tomorrow. But if Red Jez gets in, the lights will go out for good." So this is about the election, but obviously related to Brexit as well. So The Sun is famously sort of owned by a guy called Rupert Murdoch, who's quite right-wing, and that political context of the ownership of that is going to have an impact on this text, where the money's coming from, economic context, as well as the political context of it being right-wing, as well as the historical context of an event like Brexit or a general election, as well as different kind of social and cultural attitudes. And the audience who's reading that is going to interpret that in different ways. If they're someone who has similar political views, then they may respond positively. Whereas if they have different political views, they may respond negatively as well. And as we look back and knowing what happened with the election and with Brexit, we might feel differently as well. So try to think about context as the circumstances in which a media text is produced, and also the way in which context might influence audiences too. And try and remember those 5 different contexts. Thanks for listening. I hope that helps.